So, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward, but let's just get into day 2 after showing you my record. I am in Group B. So, that's the intro, but I'll show you the record regardless because, hey, fun times ahead. Hey, it's like half the win rate I predicted for myself. So, yeah, without further ado, I mean, as always, we'll just take a quick look, but not really much to say. It's as it seems, and I did not do the best trainings. Now, funny enough, the sprint CM training is going better than I thought, but it's not like that matters too much anyway, because depending on, let's just say, depending on what happens in the next few weeks, yeah, I don't know if it'll matter for me. So, without further ado, let's just get into it, and off we go. So, same exact Musume, same exact pain, and let's find out what happens. Now, all things considered, again, as I said on day 1 entry 1 video, I completely forgot about Christmas Ogre for a good moment. I mean, I did remember her at times, and then right before the CM, especially as I was doing my final trainings, yeah, completely forgot. And I was like, wait, should I make a Pace Chaser gold chip, or should I do an End Closer gold chip? The answer was it should have been End Closer, because as you've seen, I don't think I've ever procced the unique for gold chip in any of my things. Now, granted, after my first entry, I usually just skip race anyway, or just fast forward through my races anyway, so shrug, right? Like, to the point where, I mean, up to this CM, I mean, we should know the deal, and there's Double Dominator as well, with the Christmas Ogre instead of me doing gold chip and then my fake 1200 speed, but otherwise, just a quick look, we already know the deal, but I just want to take a quick look regardless, because, yeah, I mean, not really much else to see here. Yeah, also getting to proc long shot, because number 6 favorite, because, as it turns out, Guts builds for me normally take up a lot of stats, but no wits, which, I mean, it's fine if you can hit like the 600, 700 wit threshold doing Guts training, but as you may have seen from the last Champions meeting, that was easier said for me than done, and for everyone else, it was actually easier said than done. At this point, anyone continuing to train in Musume should know the deal, especially if you're doing Guts training, but, you know, filler as we get ready. But yes, otherwise here, I should have just gone End Closer gold chip. In fact, I probably could have used my last Champions meeting gold chip. I didn't even think about that. I was just interested in training a new one for immersion reasons, so shrug, right? So yeah, I could have... Oh, look at that zigzag gold chip, by the way. But yeah, I could have just used my previous Champions meeting gold chip. I haven't tested it out too much, but from the few times I've looked at it, it doesn't do too bad. Now, if there are like 3 to 4 stamina debuffers in the lobby, then yes, okay, I would have to worry a bit more. But otherwise, here in Group B, I mean, anything goes still. You could get just as bad. Yeah, and this is pretty much out the gate, so I haven't seen any other trainer inside this group yet that I can, that I can observe or something. So, yeah, as we sit here, is this a no front? I didn't even check if this is a no front runner lobby. It looks like there's a no front runner lobby. So at this point, we're just gonna be looking for the Festive Miracle proc, but for us too, it'll be the other things. I think I do have head on. I know I just showed my skills, but at this point, I'm already training for my Sprint Champions meeting. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now here's me missing the fact that I don't have a lot of Sprint Sparks, but as we see a Festive Miracle and zoom away that Christmas Ogre cap goes, we're gonna do our best. Redshift head on, that's gonna be as good as I get, and off we go, because since we don't have a true 1200 speed with medium aptitude, and their Dominators hit a lot later, which allows them to creep forward a lot more, yeah, this is gonna be off the way. Yeah, I think that was Pace Chaser, Pacemaker, Christmas Ogre cap, and if it was a front, then, well, even more props, but yeah, that's not great. Nimble Navigator right at the end, if it even matters. That was like a 5-length, 7-length possibly finish. But yeah, not much else to say about that. That was not great for me. So, without further ado, yeah, Pace Chaser, late Simply Rudolph. I think my Simply Rudolph is N, but doesn't really matter, does it? It's all about that me getting the accelerations, and hopefully that Festive Miracle by itself is already going to hurt me a lot in the final leg, but hope nothing else happens. Hoping that nothing else happens when other Christmas Ogres miss their procs, and then I have to hit my procs at least okay times to even have a hope of winning with gold chip. Pace Chaser gold chip. I should have actually just run in then. I kind of had an idea and I just wanted to try it out, but yeah, as we can see here, it's not going so well. So without further ado, off we go. This is a very late-end lobby, it seems. This is a real... Yeah, I looked at it, I was like, that looks like an actual nice nature. So, we're going to take a look at this El Condor Pasa. And yeah, off we go. Guts build El Condor Pasa. Yeah. Also, the quality of this video is going to be weird again because I cannot fix my window size to fit with OBS. So, if I try to stretch the screen, it looks a lot worse. That's all I'll say. But as we actually don't have a Christmas Ogre cap in this lobby, well, we're going to see how this goes. This is going to be a lot more interesting. Again, it's going to be really bad because I'm working with fake 1200 speed. Even with medium S aptitude, you really want to be at least 1100 speed to help out, which is kind of where I'm at threshold-wise. But yeah, really being at 1200 speed actually helps out quite a bit when it matters. It's not always going to be all the time, but... the other side of that is that if you don't have... never got lucky with being the pace chaser pacemaker. But, yeah, if you don't have basically true 1200 speed with medium S aptitude in some combination, you need your unique to proc well. And even if it's a velocity one, but preferably, obviously, it wants to be an acceleration one. Yeah, I guess on the other side of this, we hope for Grass Wonder to do her best. As my end closer, Assembly Rudolph, creeps forward. For who knows why. Now, funny enough, again, as I mentioned before, right before we get to the final lake here, my trainings have gone a little bit smoother. It's not like I've added any support cards, because as you saw at the very beginning of the video, sitting on 120,000 carrots to wait for certain scouts. But as we approach the final lake here, we're gonna look really closely at see who makes it out. I don't recall El Condor Pasa being able to proc acceleration well here. So yeah, we're going to see what happens. Otherwise, we're probably going to get overtaken by this Assembly Rudolph, and then we hope that we fire off a lot of stuff because we don't get to dominate her from so close up. So all we really get to do is watch as, yeah, the late surgers and closers sneak up on us. Yeah, unfortunately, we could not sneak forward far enough with Gold Chip to proc Nimble Navigator, among other acceleration skills, so shrug. I'm saying 2 wins for this entry, by the way. I always forget to call my shot beforehand, but shrug, right? We do our best. Now, on the other side of that, Assembly Rudolph, even though she's working kind of as a hybrid here, she should still be relatively well-trained, but as you saw, she's not well-trained. So really, it's Grass and Wonder who has to try to provide backup, because if Gold Chip is going absolutely crazy, and yeah, goes absolutely crazy, then it's all up to Grass Wonder to work as a late surger. Until we get a front-loaded lobby, and then that's when I want to see what actually happens, especially when we're down in Group B. Group A, I don't know the deal yet because it's early on, but I'm interested to see what it looks like. As we actually get 2 fronts here. Is it the same trainer using 2 fronts? Maruzensky and, yeah, Mihono Chocolate Bourbon. But yeah, not true 1200, I think. Yeah, but Turf S is actually... It doesn't feel like it makes a difference, but I feel like it makes some load of difference to me. But again, it still depends, because if you don't proc your acceleration perks and someone else does, your S is... it helps out, but from what I've seen, it's half and half. Again, assuming that your acceleration skills don't proc. If they do proc and you're working with S aptitudes on the turf or dirt, if you're in a dirt race, yeah, turns out things work well, especially as we move into the Sprint Champions meeting soon, which will also be a thing. So, something to note here is that I was kind of adverse to running a full end closer Gold Chip, because I didn't want to use... I think I have I have a 3 MLB Super Creek, so it's not full Super Creek, and that actually hurt my training quite a bit when I tried to use it. So instead, that's why I went with speed, 2 speed, 2 power, 2 wit, and did my best as a pace chaser. Oh, now I could have still run an end closer, but at that point, I was kind of gambling, and I wasn't sure how many people... I should have... Again, this is where I forgot Christmas Ogre existed, because Christmas Ogre exists, if I can speak well, people are a lot less likely to go for stamina debuffs, unless you're going full stamina debuffs with 2 Mystifying Murmurs. I think you can do 2 Mystifying Murmurs, right? But anywho, yeah, we're sitting here as a pace chaser trying to do our best. Now, we did catch up to the front runners, which is the other half of the first half of why I'm running a pace chaser at all. But if that was the case, again, and I didn't want to just push Gold Chip every single PvP event, then I would have, yeah, definitely run Christmas Ogre Cap. But anyway, as we're hoping here for a Nimble Navigator proc, along with any other two acceleration ones, which are the only two I would probably have. Head On, No Nimble Navigator, Sadness, Radiant Star, Take the Chance, and I don't think that's going to be enough. So, Shrug, is that a... No, that was Dominator. I was like, I saw Hesitant Frontrunners proc, and I saw the red around Agnes Tachyon. But as we sit here and hope for the best, I don't think I have... Oh, Helmstretch Chase, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. So, off we go. Yeah, I think we can catch this. Can we catch this? Or is that a true 1200 speed Tachyon? That's a little late, but Shrug. And yeah. Sadness. So hey, here are those two wins. They need to happen right now. So off we go. But otherwise, off to the next race. So yeah, having front runners in the lobby definitely helps my gold chip out because she's a pace chaser, but because she doesn't get to proc her unique, she actually loses quite a bit of length. I think it's like 1.5 lengths you lose from gold chip's unique. But I don't know if that changes between her positioning as a pace chaser and end closer. So I'm shrugging in real life as I say that. And it kind of goes counterintuitive to my own team because, as you can see, because we have Simply Rudolph and Grass Wonder in the back, that makes it less likely for my Pace Chaser Gold Chip to be in the second half to proc her unique. Shrug, that's all I'm trying to say. Two fronts from two different trainers? No. As to be expected, if you are running a front runner, you're probably running at least two, so shrug, right? Groundwork, all proper setups, breath of fresh air, because, I mean, you might as well run RNG. It's not as RNG as one would think, but if you're unlucky, you're unlucky, because sadness. And I'm not talking about the Wits proc, I'm talking more it procs at an opportune time, because it just could, breath of fresh air could just proc out the gate here. And if it does, you don't get anything, which is what I was wanting to say earlier. So, Go Home Specialist procking here doesn't actually recover as much stamina for you. I tried testing it out, and against a bunch of stamina debuffers, you run out, So around this time, yeah, Breath of Fresh Air doesn't heal as much. It still does some healing, but it's not enough against a lobby or a trainer that's built to debuff stamina. Which is why when people run Christmas Ogre Cap, then you could just be like, oh, well, my stamina debuffs do nothing. And that's part of the reason why I want to run hybrids anyway, because I don't want to just throw in Umas that are going to lose guaranteed, even though I am pretty much throwing Umas that are guaranteed to lose, but at least I tried to make them capable of winning. So here's hoping Saiyan Sky is in first, and here's hoping that Gold Ship creeps up forward. That is our win condition, on top of just proccing all the Excellus, but that's implied. And off we go. But yes, only in the situation in which there are like 4 or 5 front runners will my gold chip probably ever be able to proc her unique. Yeah, that's all I really have to say there. Otherwise, maybe I should have just run one Dominator and then an actual end closer. But anyway, as we approach the final leg here, we are too far to proc Nimble Navigator. So here's hoping. Saiyan Sky does not take first, but we don't seem to proc enough regardless. So as Grass Wonder tries to run forward, she is zooming forward. If she doesn't do it, Gold Chip has to run this down. But again, because we're running with a fake 1200, it makes me really, really nervous to watch this. Homestretch Chase would make me feel a little bit better, but as we saw in the previous race, that doesn't really matter either. Radiant Star will help, however. But yeah, off we go. So, yeah, it seems like Grass Wonder is going to try and fight for first, but nope, not enough. And if you didn't know, if I didn't, or if you skip forward because I showed, yeah, Grass Wonder actually does have 1200 speed, but she doesn't have medium S, so that's why it would have helped. It definitely would have helped. We got velocity procs, but as you can see there, yeah, it doesn't do anything with the 1200 speed. A aptitude 1200 speed is I would prefer that to having less than 1100 speed with S aptitude. Even though that does give you enough, it's just that speed kicks in before the final leg as well. I believe I think it's like somewhere in like the 66% of the race, or when the mid race is reached, that it starts to kick in. But I can't remember if it's the final leg or actually halfway through the race. There's some weird calculation that happens, but I can't remember. Again, I could just be completely wrong here. I am partially trying to fill in time. One front runner, huh? And then yeah, medium aptitude A, no groundwork either. So this is going to be interesting. If this is my one win, so be it. At least I'll get into the final. I think it's one win to get into the finals. But anyway, off we go. That being said, I could just try to RNG into a lobby with people going in, with trainers going into the graded and doing their best. And well, that's to say also I'm doing my best because boy oh boy, if my win rate wasn't anything to look at anyway, then yeah, this is going to be a struggle. Now, the funny thing to note here is that is this a Pace Agnes Digital? What's happening here? Or did she Uma stand in front of my gold chip? Which actually might help me out a bit, but it's because we're in 5th that we still don't get to proc our unique, so that makes me a little sad to see. Also, yeah, if I ran Guts build, I would actually have access to Corner Connoisseur, which could just proc it at a good time, but shrug, right? We do our best. Otherwise, so you'll notice that, or if you forgot, I did also grab Pump with this gold ship. Again, this is in preparation for a front-loaded lobby. But again, that runs counterintuitive to the fact that 2 of the other Uma Musume are probably going to be Christmas Ogre Cap. So trying to snipe into that 6th place is and then the 6th place is going to be difficult. And Redshift on its own, as we can see here, isn't doing enough for me. So shrug. So we have to head on Nimble Navigator, that's what I'm trying to say. A Redshift would help too, I would always take it, but as the Saiyan Sky procs angling and scheming, zoom away she goes, and we hope for the best. So, lower speed is going to hurt, and Dominators will also hurt, so here's hoping that Gold Ship runs it down. It looks like she's able to do it here. So let's find out. Radiant Star at the end here to get a bit more velocity. That Agnes Tachyon, if she's far enough, she is going to overtake, but I thought she was a pace. If she catches up, she's likely not a pace. Now I have to check. Otherwise, Grass Wonder could pull it out here, but, oh boy, sadness is going to happen. Nimble Navigator, Homestead Chase, medium straightaways, all the velocity I could need. If I still lose here, yeah, that's me. Goodness. Oh, training. Yeah, so yeah, that was a Pace Chaser Agnes Digital. What does Digitan have? Groundwork into things, so maybe, Huh. Well, that's like me to lose in that situation as well. So hey, 5 losses, great. Let me actually see. What was it again? I think it was one win, one win to get to B finals. So place your bets now as we move on here. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Not really much else to say. We'll end it at the end screen here. But as you can see here, just to at least show the resources I'm working with. Yeah, waiting for these summer banners as we're also getting ready for Grand Live, let's just say, the next scenario. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. I'll do what I do, you do what you do. If you have anything to say, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!